What's up, guys? All right, the red light is on. It's Wednesday night of a pay-per-view weekend. You know what that is? It's Better Bananas. I'm Dave Van Auken. To my left, we're going on a double date or something like that. The ruthless one, El Dawson. El, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited about this card. It's going to be so good.
Cannot wait. We maybe Rafael Esparza might jump on in a second, but hey, life happens. Life is busy, so we see what happens. We just came off from Gay Bread, Bare Knuckle. El and myself were back, both of us in Orlando, Florida. We're back home, and we had a great show yesterday with Maddie Levine and Jillian the Savage Robertson, starting to break down this card. But I love it. It's all UFC 299. Not even that. It's all about betting and odds and over unders and stuff of that nature. So let's get it. We usually go best bet and underdog and 3-fight parlay. You called me earlier. I was coaching T-ball. You're like, Dave, I got a new idea for this show. There's so many good fights on it with Burns and Jack Della Molina and Yang versus Yan and all that stuff. So let's not skip anything. I'm just going to kind of give it to you and we'll just go back and forth.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go through the whole freaking card because there's too many good fights on here. And this is a really difficult card to bet too. And I really hope Rafael does join us because this should be the Rafael show today because he'll be able to give you guys the inside scoop on how the odds are going to change. That's why we love having him. So I hope he can hop in here. But the first fight of the night is a women's flyweight fight. Joanne Wood is fighting Marina Moroz. Marina is obviously a teammate of mine. Both these women can strike. I feel like this definitely favors Marina. I think Marina's a little bit more well-rounded. But, dude, Sean, you were totally right. There are so many good underdogs here. I don't think this is a fight where you should bet the dog personally. I think Marina's a pretty great parlay piece here. But if you're not leaning one way or the other, I think the over is solid. I could see Marina catching a submission again against Joanne Wood like she did the first time they fought, but I am definitely leaning towards the decision. I think both girls are very durable. I think they both strike really well, and I think Marina has a little bit of an edge when it comes to the grappling as well. But this is
I couldn't agree anymore. I have in my book already Moroz UD. Like not even a lot of female fights. Sometimes they're split decision. I think she dominates. I even think a 30-27. I think Moroz, especially if she gets her down, I think like ground and pound and stuff of that nature. I like Moroz a lot. And hey, Wood had an awesome career. I remember on that Tough show, she was so beloved. She's had a long career in mixed martial arts. I just think it's kind of that time. So I love Moroz in this spot.
Yeah, I do too. I think, and if you aren't solid on the prop with the decision, if you're worried that she might finish earlier in the fight, that is a fantastic parlay piece. It's low enough odds that it can add some really good value to your parlays for sure.
Cool. What do you got next for us? So we're still on the prelims, early prelims.
We just got to go through it. Like this is a very interesting early prelims, I think. So then we have CJ Vergara versus Asu Almabayev. Hopefully I'm saying
say that 3 times fast.
Almabayev. But this one's another really close fight, and I feel like this might be a fight where you do have a live dog here. If the line was a little bit closer, I would probably be on the Asu side here. But these guys have had similar strengths of schedule within the UFC. And they both have wins over Ode Osborne. Obviously, Vergara had a short notice loss to
Saturday night, Kenny. Saturday night, UFC 299, Miami, Florida. All right, keep going, El.
This is one I personally would either bet the dog or stay away from.
Yeah.
I think this is a fight where a lot can happen. I think if CJ wins this fight, it will be by stoppage. And I think if Asu wins this fight, it's going to be a grindy decision. I think he has the better wrestling. I think he has the better control. But CJ's kind of a weird, scrappy guy. So this is one, it's a pretty decently wide line. I was looking at the odds earlier. I want to pull it back up.
I was just on a bet on US.
Oh, geez. Yeah, he's like a plus 425 dog. Like I think that Asu will win this fight. But if you're feeling froggy, like plus 425, I don't know that the line should necessarily be that wide for a guy who has 2 fights in the UFC.
I totally agree. I know we'll disagree later on, but when we agree, we agree. And just real quick, one thing you said there and just jumped, I know you're not to that fight yet. It's a phenomenal fight. that kind of is like the RDA and Gamrot. And I know I'm a Gamrot fan. I know you're American Top Team girl, L. I'm just like, when I looked at the line, I'm like, dude, at that price to get RDA at plus 325, I'm like,
that's a wide line.
It's a wide line. Like, a veteran, a guy, a main eventer. Did you see that stat? 10 out of his last 12 fights for RDA have been main events. So, like, this is something new for him to be early in the card. I just think it's a good spot for him, but keep rolling, keep rolling.
Yeah, no, so yeah, we'll breeze through the early prelims because I want to talk about that fight, of course. I have a lot of teammates on this card, actually.
I know,
now we
American
have
Top Team card. Where's
it
Grant?
really is.
Where's
It's
Grant?
Like, right? If only. We've got Oleksiejczuk, I'm not saying that right, versus Pereira here.
Really good fight, by the way.
This is a good fight. Oleksiejczuk is a very live dog too. These guys can both win this fight. I think the lines are very accurate here. But the dog, like, when you have such a close fight and such a close line, I would take the dog. Part of me wants to sit on the under as a lot of good value. And then part of me is like, man, both these guys have power. They're going to feel each other out a little bit. Like, there's going to be some of that clock getting chewed up earlier in the fight. So I'm very back and forth. This personally is a fight I probably would stay away from. I think the line's super close. I think the fight's super close. If you bet anything here, I would probably sit on the dog.
It's funny you say that. Out of like, I have a good way on a lot of these fights, and we talked about the main event. Of course, we'll get there. I think this is the fight I'm like definitely staying away from. Pierre is like one of those guys. Like, sometimes he brings it and he looks amazing. Sometimes he doesn't. It's a wonky fight. This is one of the fights I will not bet on UFC 299.
Yeah, I think this one's too tough. The next fight, I feel like there is a solid lock on this fight. And it is the under. Felipe Lons versus Jan Cutelaba. The under is the play. Both these guys are finishers. Jan Cutelaba is notorious for finishing early or gassing and getting finished. And Lons absolutely has the finishing power to put away a tired Cutelaba. So if Cutelaba does not get a very quick finish, I definitely think he'll be tired in the second, and Lens will finish him. This is a fight I might solo bet because both guys do sometimes have some health problems going into fight week, and sometimes the fight does not happen, and that decision is sometimes made on fight week. So I wouldn't count on this one as a parlay piece just because it might get pulled. So I would solo bet the under.
Breaking down the pull out action. I love it. L. Dawson.
Solo bet the under.
The under's at minus 155. I think that's a great price.
Really good value.
That's a really good price.
That's solid.
Yeah.
And if I would lean Lens here. I think Lens can survive the early onslaught from Cutelaba. He's on I think 3 or 4 fight win streak. He's been doing pretty solidly. Cutelaba is very much an up and down guy. I think he can survive that early onslaught and get the win. But this is one. Cutelaba is a guy who can always finish in that first 2 minutes. So you always have to be careful with that.
I love it. El, real quick, shout out to all the people, dude. We got 45 people on the live right now watching for Ben and Bananas. This might be a high record. So, guys, if you haven't, please sub the brand new YouTube channel. It's a brand new YouTube channel. The last one got kicked off. Yeah, we're at 47. Let's get up to 50 and sub that new YouTube channel. And Sean is coming with it. I love Sean Sterling coming with the stuff. I honestly throw a little on the finish with KO. Yeah, I like it, Sean. I do. All right, I think we're to the prelims now.
Yeah, we are through it. And now we got Pedro Munoz and Kyler Phillips.
Jeez. Dude, such a good fight.
This is such a good fight.
Kyler
Phillips beat Song Yadong. And I think everybody forgets that. But that is one hell of a win for that division.
Great win.
I think this is a fight that Pedro will win. But it is a close fight. It is a close fight. And the bet to play on this fight is for it to go the distance. Pedro Munoz has never been finished, and he has never been dropped. And he has fought some powerful strikers.
He's fought Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this dude has not been dropped. He fought Cheeto. Like, He's not been finished. I do not think Kyler Phillips is going to be the guy that's going to end Pedro Munoz's incredible concrete chin. He's just so insanely tough. Like, Pedro Munoz shows up to the gym and picks out a lightweight to spar as hard as he freaking can. Like,
it's funny. Like, when I first saw this, and like Kyler Phillips is the favorite, so like I kind of lean that way right off the bat. And I know Pedro's been through it, right? Like, he's definitely a veteran of the sport. But Pedro Munhoz at 170, and like, people don't remember, guys. If go on YouTube, rewatch that fight with him and Sugar Sean O'Malley. I thought Pedro won the first round, and I think the tide was starting to turn to Sugar. So I do think that round 2 was leaning Sugar, but Pedro won round 1. It was a 3-round fight, so it's close. You never know. Split decision, all that stuff. And imagine if Pedro Munhoz has a win over Sugar Sean O'Malley right now. It's a totally different conversation that we're having, especially at UFC 299.
I thought Pedro won the Cheeto fight. That was a crazy close fight too. And I genuinely, I've watched that fight several times. I genuinely think Pedro should have won that fight. Wow. It's and he's a dog here. Like, you can't write Pedro Munoz off at any point, but especially not now. It's not like he's still putting away, like, he's still piecing up these young studs in the division, and like, he still has that ability to do that. I think that's a great value play for plus 174. And if you're not leaning one way or the other on the winner, just play the distance. Okay. But to go the distance, throw it in a parlay. I promise you that is a lock parlay piece that is going to hit, and it's going to have some value.
I love it. I love it. We were just at 56 people watching. I thought 50 was going to be a number. Let's get to 60 now, people. Let's get to 60. I like this.
Invite your friends. Tell them to come watch. Man. This is awesome. Look at our chat. It's lighting up. Pedro for the win.
I like it. I like it, Josh. And then Joshua earlier said the diamond. We'll get to that fight later. That's like my fight of the whole card. In a weird way, guys, that's my main event. I'm so pumped for the co-main event and Dustin the Diamond Poirier. We'll get to that in a second. But we're up to Gamrot and RDA. Like I said, real quick, Gamrot's definitely the favorite, and he's probably going to win and should win this fight. I know he's the better fighter. I know he's an ATT guy, but just RDA right now at plus 325. I like the number. I like the number.
Plus 355.
Jaybird, what's up, buddy?
Like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Anyone in the division, like RDA versus, I kind of want to go back in the line, like a Makhachev or Charles Oliveira. Is he a plus 325 to Charles Oliveira? Like, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know, dude. Like, he was doing well with Fiziev.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
He was doing very well. It's
a high number. I'm leaning Gamrot. Gamrot should win. Probably take over in that third round, especially. But for 325, guys. Ugh.
I agree. This is another one that's going the distance. Like, it's going the distance. RDA is so freaking tough. Gamrot has unbelievable cardio and wrestling ability. Like, that dude can literally shoot 10 takedowns around and be fine. And that's the beauty of a guy like RDA is RDA never goes away. Like, never. He is his veteran spirit comes out. Like, it doesn't matter how many rounds, how that RDA is down. He's always trying to win the fight. Like, he doesn't break. He doesn't go away. I agree with you that the line should be a little bit closer. I do think Gamrot will win. Obviously, Gamrot's my guy. Yeah. But man, Gamrot can wrestle constantly. He really can. Like, he doesn't get tired wrestling. He doesn't have he's not one of these guys with like insane control, but he has one of the fastest shots I've ever seen. Like, I seen him shoot and take down like legit middleweights.
I would spend pay-per-view money on just a grappling session with Merab and Gamrot. Just those two boys going at it, back and forth.
Merab's too small.
Whoa.
He's too small.
By the way, real quick, we'll get into the main event. Do you know Merab is on the way to Miami, Florida right now? He's officially the backup fighter for Cheeto or Sugar. If one of those guys miss weight or get sick or whatever, Merab is the backup fighter. Just fought 3 weeks ago at UFC 298.
And then went to Mexico. Dude's all over the place.
Who doesn't go to Mexico after a win, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think, like, if you're an RDA guy, the value is insane for a guy like RDA who just has so much experience.
And like, we'll get to it later, guys, but like, he's one of those guys, a parlay piece at plus 325. Like imagine if you do, let's go 3 underdogs, 3 future UFC Hall of Famers, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, Gilbert Burns, and RDA. Like I'm telling you guys, it's like insane money, like insane. Those are 3 bona fide stars, championship contender guys. Like, so crazy stuff. Rightfully so. I love that, Pat. Good one. Okay, we're off to Macy Barber versus the new Caitlin. What's her last name, El? Give it to us again.
Sermonara?
Like,
she either got married or
Chahigian
divorced. We're not sure. We're not sure which, but something happened in her life.
Married or divorced, but either way, good for her.
Either way, she has a new last name. No longer Caitlin Chikagian. Yep. So Caitlin Chikagian has made an entire career off of somehow winning fights while almost doing nothing. And she's so good at slowing down the fight. She's long, she feints so much. Mm-hmm. And she just she moves she's constantly moving. She does just enough to keep you off of her and win the fight. The issue with her style here is I think Macy Barber just doesn't care. Macy Barber will walk you down, whether she's bleeding, cut, whether you're hitting her, she really doesn't care. She will constantly pressure. And I feel like if we look at Caitlin fighting Jessica Andrade with a very similar style, and obviously Andrade is much shorter than Macy, she was still able to close the distance and implement her power, which Macy has power as well. Dude, Macy looked so good against Amanda Ribas. I thought that was going to be a much closer fight than it was. And she just looked phenomenal. And she's so dang tough. I think she's very well-rounded, and she seems to have kind of come into her own. I think she had some issues earlier in her career with like just decision-making and being young, just being a young fighter.
I think she was too young, too quick in the spotlight. The UFC even said like, hey, you could break John Jones's world championship record. It's a lot of pressure on a new fighter and a new female fighter. I think that was too much for her too early. Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like she seems to have really like found her spot here at flyweight. And like, I think this is her moment. I think Caitlin tends to kind of drop the ball against those fighters that are that just next step up. And I think Macy is on the upswing here. I think she's at that point. Talking about that, so this is something I like a lot. So we just talked about JoJo and Moreau's probably being a distance. We talked about Kyler and Pedro probably going the distance. RDA and Gamrot. So this fight, everyone thinks the same thing. I heard it all week. They got Macy UD. I like the under in this fight. I like a finish at plus 280 right now. Wow. The number is humongous. I think Macy can get it done, like ground and pound, just wrestling her, maybe even a rear naked choke, a slide into that. And then God forbid if Caitlin does one of those crazy head kicks and actually lands it, like, that's a 5% on that. So I like the under. Plus 280 is good money. We're plus money all night long. I don't hate that. I actually don't hate that. I don't think Caitlin can finish this fight personally. We don't see her finish very often, and Macy's so dangerous. Of course. That's why it's a dog. Anything can happen, of course. Yeah. But I think what kind of like Macy, maybe landing some hard shots, taking Caitlin down, landing some ground and pound and sinking in a sub is a very plausible result. Yeah. I like that. Dude, 6 fights left. The main card, and then this fight I can't believe it's not a main card because the main event's probably some shows. Talking about Gelton Almeida versus Curtis Blades. There's already talks that the winner of this is going to fight Tom Aspinall for the interim championship. I know it's crazy, but that's what it's talking about. I'm leaning one way, 95-5. I would love your take on it first, though, El. I think that the over is the way to go here because the value is really good. Let me pull it up real quick. The over 1.5 is minus 150. I think that's really good value, personally. Okay. These guys both are going to grapple. I don't think they necessarily will knock each other out. They can, they both have power, but I expect there to be a lot of grappling exchanges. And I think that Curtis Blades is a big dude who can wrestle. I don't think he can wrestle as well as Gelton Almeida can. And
but I think that it will take a little bit for Almeida to get Blades down. And I do see Almeida winning this fight.
There
It's
you go.
real close money. So and I think it is a really close fight. I think if Blades stuffs, like if we see Blades stuffing the takedowns, this might be a live line fight, guys. Like if you see Curtis Blades stuffing takedowns, and landing off of those stuffed takedowns, that should be a sign that things are shifting in Curtis Blades' favor. If we see Almeida get an early takedown, similar to oh my gosh, brain fart. The fight we all thought he was going to finish that ended up being
Derek Lewis.
Thank you. I don't know another. Yeah. Anyway, so the Derek Lewis fight, if we see something similar to that where Almeida's getting control and he's doing some damage, I think Blades is going to be really hard to hold down too. He's also a very explosive guy like Derek Lewis is. So I expect Almeida to care a lot about maintaining position and not losing those takedowns once he gets them. So I think we'll see a lot of time chewed up both in the clinch and on the mat in these grappling exchanges. So I really like the over 1.5 here.
Love over. I love the over, and not even that. I love Jailton Almeida. He's probably my second or third best play in the whole card. Almeida is like this, a rocket ship. He's going to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship, guys. And I just looked it up, and dude, Curtis Blades is absolute stud. No beast, no disrespect. Just telling you how I feel. One, he's 33, about to be 34 years old. So, like, you're starting to get into a little bit older. I know heavyweights can go older, but he's starting to get up there. Also, too, Curtis fought Sergey, got lit up, got knocked out. Then he fought Aspinall, and I know it's a win. But, guys, Tom Aspinall is the greatest. He's the best heavyweight alive today. If Tom Aspinall doesn't blow out his knee, we got Aspinall, right? Then Chris Dawkins and Rosenstrike. And then he fights Derek Lewis, and he loses. And we just saw Jailton fight Derek, and he looked dominant. I know he didn't get the stoppage, but he looked like night and day better than him. I just, I feel like Curtis was a borderline contender 4 years ago. I don't think he's not anymore. I think Sergey's better than him. Aspinall is better than him. I think Almeida's better than him. I like Almeida a lot. A minus 115, like, guys, take this price. This is probably the last time you're going to get Jailton Almeida this small until he fights Tom Aspinall.
No, I 100% agree. I think that's the way to go here. But him in the over to add that value is
love
great.
That. Love that.
It's great. Man, I wasn't expecting the lines on Song Yadong and Petr Yan to be this close. I really wasn't. That was very surprising to me. This is a banger of a fight. Like, this is one of the best fights on the card.
Yeah.
That being said, what is it? Minus 118 for Petr Yan in this fight.
Yeah, Dominic, we talked about the RD lay line. Go rewind it 15 minutes. Just sub the brand new YouTube channel. Sub it, Fight Bananas. Appreciate everyone watching. El's breaking down Yang versus Yan right now. And I got a really good, this is my second best bet of the night. So let's see where we're at on it.
Petr Yan is winning this fight. Like,
I agree.
Petr Yan is winning this fight. And the lines should be smaller, in my opinion. Man, Petr Yan has lost to the best guys in the world. And I think if we take out the fact that he's on a 3-fight losing streak and you just look at him as a fighter, what he did to Jose Aldo.
What he did to Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah. Like, he's lost to the current champ.
Yeah, okay,
Go ahead.
He lost 4 of his last 5. The first loss is when he was dominating Aljamain Sterling in a legal knee. So that's a win. Then he had another win. Then it's a split decision loss against Sugar Sean O'Malley in Abu Dhabi, which, one, Sugar Sean O'Malley is the undisputed champion of the world. So even if you lose that, it's a great loss. And a ton of people think Yan won that fight.
Yes, then I'm one of those people. Yan for sure won that fight.
So then he rematches Aljamain Sterling for the championship. Another fight. The 5-round fight, split decision to Aljo, who might be the greatest bantamweight of all time. And then that night, Dana White's like, I have Petr Yan winning that fight. So it's like another fight, you think. Then his loss against Merab. Guys, everyone loses to Merab. Merab would be Cheeto. Merab would be Sugar Sean O'Malley. Yes. He dominated Henry Cejudo at wrestling. Merab doesn't lose. Like, he's a machine. Right now, he beats everyone. So, like, you could argue, like, Yan is the 3rd best featherweight in the world, bantamweight in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Song's last fight was Chris Gutierrez. He looked like he did what he did. He won that fight very decisively. Like he
We
looked good,
disagree, Sonny.
but man, throw up Sean's fight. He said about him not being active and the live dog. Here's the thing, Sean. Song Yadong's not a dog. It's even money. Yeah, I would 100% agree with you if this was a line like RDA and Gamrot where the line was just huge and super wide. But like
they're both minus 115.
Minus 102 for Song Yadong. I don't think that's good value here. If it was plus money, I would be all on board with you as this being it's not that it's not a winnable fight for Song Yadong, but if you look at his recent competition versus Piotr Jan's and the fact that Jan just has the ability to beat anybody on any night. He's such a scary dude. He's so well-rounded. He doesn't get tired. Song Yadong he doesn't get tired per se, but he is looking for his big shots. Piotr Jan is throwing the volume. He's so defensively sound. The way he feints, the way he covers as he comes in, he doesn't have to give up space in order to be defensively sound. A lot of guys, like, they want to evade, they want to move. Piotr Jan stays in the pocket, moves his head, and covers and counters so quickly. Song Yadong is a super fast guy, but one of the reasons that he's able to do that is because he's always able to counter. I think it's really hard to counter on a guy who's constantly in your face and is too close to you. I don't think Song Yadong is going to be able to get his distance to be able to use his speed necessarily in this fight.
I think the kids say there's like, let you cook. Dude, just cooked it up right there. Just let her cook, guys. All right, Sean, the question is, okay, let's see. Good question, Sean. We respect it. The question is that Jan a couple years ago, or does he still have it? That's a really good question. But at minus 115, I will bet that he still has it. I think he knows this too. This is another thing. So in a weird way, he does have all these losses for the last 5. If he loses this fight, guys, we'll see Piotr Jan in Bellator sooner than you think. Like, I think he knows this is a really pivotal fight for his career. I love Piotr Jan here. Love Piotr Jan.
Yeah, he's been here. He's been in Florida, and some of his best performances were when he did most of his camps here. And so he's been
camping at ATT?
Yeah, he was here for several weeks. I saw him hanging out at the gym. So he was here, doing his camp here and getting ready, getting acclimated. So I think we're going to see the old Piotr Jan. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think he's ready to hang it up just yet.
This is the inside information you won't get anywhere else. We got the ruthless one, L. Dawson at ATT. Just, say a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle here. Guys, some of the stuff that L tells me off air is incredible. I can't even tell you about the other stuff. Oh, my goodness. All right.
The rounds you see in that gym, like my God.
Best.
I wish you guys could understand how good they are.
All right, final 4 fights. All 4 of them are absolute bangers. Let's go. You want to go Gilbert JDM?
Yeah. This is another live dog, in my opinion. My only concern for Gilbert here is that I feel like Gilbert is a little undersized for the division. I think Gilbert is the guy that is made for 165 pounds. And it just doesn't exist. I think he's a little old to be cutting all the way to lightweight. Not yet. All the way to lightweight. And I think he's a little bit small for the welterweights. And JDM's a big dude, and he's going to have that length. And so, I worry a little bit, like the striking of Bilal, obviously very different style striking from JDM, but JDM's boxing is so good and it's so clean. But we also saw Jack Della Maddalena struggle with the wrestling of Basil Hafez. Once again, enormous dude.
I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that fight, though.
But Gilbert is a better grappler than Hafez is. He's he's one of the highest level grapplers, highest level jiu-jitsu guys in the UFC, and he can wrestle. There's a lot of really high level jiu-jitsu guys who do not necessarily have great wrestling. Gilbert Burns is not one of those guys. Yeah. At plus money, like plus 144, this might be, it might be an underdog parlay that needs to happen with Gilbert in it.
And also, to me, Jack Della Maddalena, 6-0 in the UFC, and his last 2 wins are via split decision. So, I feel like the split decision gods, if it is close, will lean Gilbert. I really do. And this is a big jump, guys. I thought it was a big jump to Kevin Holland. He won, but like he never, when you fight Kevin Holland, you never have to be worried about grappling. You never have to be worried about takedowns and wrestling and all that nature. So I feel like Jack Della Maddalena, like he just like, let's go. Like he's boxing. It's almost a kickboxing fight. And this fight, he's not going to be in that mode. I like Gilbert Burns a lot here in this spot. I do.
Sean brought up a good point. He is obviously coming off of the injury, off surgery with his shoulder. That's always something to be concerned about. This, once again, this might be a live line fight. Like, this is such a difficult card to bet, guys. Like, I do not envy the bettors that do this for a living, because it's going to be really tough. Some people are going to have some hurt feelings and some lost money after this weekend for sure. But this might be one to see how Gilbert looks towards the end of the first round. If you feel like he's not able to close the distance, he's not able to implement these grappling exchanges, that's going to bode poorly for him over the course of 3 rounds.
Couldn't agree. I love it. MVP versus Kevin Holland. It's like, I feel like we're like in the Avengers multiverse. Like, who would have ever thought we would say that in a fight on a pay-per-view? Very, very close line. Holland is the little bit of the favorite. Where are you leaning on this one?
Looks like Jack is going to be mad at me in the comments, but I can't unhear the point that Jillian made on our live show yesterday. This is such a weird time to be signing MVP. Like, he hasn't really been in the spotlight lately in Bellator.
Real quick. So Sean said a comment real quick. Hey, Sean, you've been killing it this whole card. Minty Betts is the girl, love her. Dude, Minty Betts cannot hold Elle Dawson's jockstrap, all right?
Stop it. Minty Betts is great.
She's good. But dude, Elle Dawson dominates Minty Betts. Like, Elle Dawson's forgot more stuff about fighting than Minty Betts even knows. All right. I just got to give Elle some love there. All right, there we go. All right. Back to MVP.
All right. Man, MVP is a little bit older, and we haven't seen him fighting necessarily UFC caliber guys. Like, we haven't seen it. And typically guys who come from Bellator and come to the UFC do not always do well. We've seen Bellator champs come to the UFC and not do well.
Yeah.
And I can never unsee Douglas Lima uppercutting MVP all the way to the shadow realm. But Kevin Holland is definitely an ideal matchup for MVP in the UFC. But I feel like Kevin Holland is very good at what MVP is good at. MVP is a little bit faster, I think. I think he covers distance a little well. He's a little more back. Like, he tends to fight a little bit longer. But Holland also has that weird kind of kung fu-y style to him as well. This is going to be an awkward fight. Like, this is going to be an awkward fight. There's going to be a lot of feeling out. I like the over. I like the over. Thanks, John. Thanks, buddy. He's like, okay, you're okay too. You're okay too.
The comment section's been on fire this show. We love you guys. Jack killed it. Sean killed it. Bobby, all you guys. It's been amazing. Keep it rolling. Keep it coming.
Jack said he's not mad at me. Okay, thanks, Jack. I appreciate it. And I might be wrong, because it's hard to tell, though, when we see guys come from Bellator to the UFC, because it's a different level. It is. And we've seen that time and time again. We might see MVP come over and be at that level where he can compete against guys like Kevin Holland. MVP's not beating Leon Edwards. That's not happening. No. This is another thing that concerns me. MVP's doing interviews. He's already talking about the Leon Edwards fight. He's overlooking Kevin Holland. And I don't think that's a smart thing to do, because Kevin Holland is the guy where if he doesn't care, he'll show up, get a paycheck, and lose a split decision. Yeah. And if he cares and he shows up, he's a killer. Yeah. So it really all depends on which Kevin Holland shows up this time. Like, I 100%, you nailed it, Sean, 100% agree. Like, he didn't show up. Like, and he's done that several times before. And he is more skilled than what he showed in the Wonder Boy fight. I could see any outcome here. Personally, this is a fight I would stay away from, because this all depends on Kevin Holland. This is the Kevin Holland show.
I'm leaning Kevin Holland on it. And just one point, you nailed all the fight stuff. Guys, I know he was a main eventer for Bellator and everything of that nature, but guys, I've been to a couple Bellator shows. They fit 2,000, 3,000 people in a small arena, and they black tape the high sections of the arena. Guys, this UFC is in Miami, Florida. It's getting so much buzz, so much like lights are on bright. Pay-per-view is going to be sold out Miami. You got Dustin the Diamond Poirier in the co-main event, a huge main event. Like, I know people will be like, oh, he's a veteran. He's old. He's fought forever. It's something, your debut in the UFC on a UFC pay-per-view in Miami, Florida. MVP, there's gonna be some butterflies. There's gonna be some movement in that belly. So I just think it's his biggest fight to date.
And I just think it's wrong to overlook Kevin Holland here. Like, this is a big jump. It really is.
All right, so there we go. We got Holland, Gilbert leading that. We're down to the last two fights. I hate how they're promoting MVPs and undefeated. It just isn't right. I didn't even see that, Sean.
I didn't see that. Yeah, that is bizarre.
I didn't see that. All right, final two fights. Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. And then we got Sugar Sean and Chito Vera in the main. Let's go with this co-main event. You know where I stand on this fight. I only have to say it. Dustin the Diamond Poirier, one of my favorite all-time fighters. I got the picture right behind me. Love me some Dustin. He will get the job done. Elle, how about you?
Yeah, I think this fight really favors Dustin being 5 rounds. Man, we looked it up yesterday on the live show. Dustin Poirier has been in 11 5-round fights in his UFC career. And after he made his first main event against Michael Johnson, he's only had 3 3-round fights since then. This dude is built for 5-round fights. Yeah, absolutely. Now, personally, I don't know that it's going to go 5 rounds, but I think the longer this fight goes on, the more it helps Dustin. Benoit Saint Denis is a massive jump for this guy. He looked fantastic against Frivola. He looked fantastic against Thiago Moises. But man, Dustin's a different level. He has the boxing to compete with Benoit. He has the cardio. Dustin is a guy who has a natural gas tank. He doesn't have to get in shape. He will show up out of shape and still have cardio for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Benoit Saint Denis, I just don't think he's been in there with a guy like Dustin, and he's incredibly tough. He can wrestle. He's a very well-rounded guy, and he has power. But Dustin has pop, and he's got the speed on Benoit Saint Denis, in my opinion. I think he's crisper. I think he's a little more defensively sound. I think Saint Denis is going to get hit more. And I think rounds 4 and 5 are really going to weigh on Benoit Saint Denis if we see it go that far.
Couldn't agree more. Like, it's just, guys, like, I know Benoit's looked awesome, and he has. Like, you got to give the man credit for what he's done for sure. But, like, just look at his opponents and look how his opponents fight and how they fight. Like, this is a huge level. Like, he was fighting guys outside the top 15 to fight him the number one guy. Like, the number one contender. Dustin's always the number one guy if it's not for the title. Him and Oliveira and Chandler, and they're all very close. Gaethje, they can intertwine. These guys fighting around robin, they'll just win, lose, win, lose. These are high-level top 3, top 4 guys. I just don't see Benoit in that spot yet. I could be wrong, and he could prove us all wrong. But until he does, like, how can you not pick it? And then he, as the betting favorite, how can Poirier be in the spot and be the underdog in Florida, in Miami, close to the gym at ATT? There's just so much to love about Dustin in this fight. And we talked about it yesterday on the live show. This really could be a swan song, and I don't think he's wants to go out on a loss, kind of what Jorge did, Jorge Masvidal, his friend, same arena last year. I think he wants to leave on his own merit, on his own right. Be like, dude, this is what you guys thought was the next guy. I just knocked him out. Peace. I'm out. Like, it's just he has that in him. I love that about him. So I got Diamond by stoppage early, first or second round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Couple more. Poirier, 35, coming off getting knocked out by head kick, worries me a little bit. Sure. I agree. Dustin giving off Volk vibes with the head kick. Wow, really?
I think Volk played the character a little bit too much. I think Volk manifested his own knockout a little bit.
Cool. All right. 2, the main event. And when you get the main event, you get the Sugar Sean O'Malley dog. Look at this.
Guys in the comments, tell Dave how creepy his Cabbage Patch Sugar Sean is.
Look at that. Look at this. That thing
does not
Look at the detail.
Nightmares a little bit.
Dude, this is one of the best pieces. $550 online. You can buy this right now. Sugar Sean O'Malley dog. Look at this thing.
It's
I
signed by
love
Dave
it.
Van Auken.
I'll sign it.
Pat loves it.
There you go. Pat loves it. My man, Pat. Look how sick that is. Look, he walks too.
Everybody's got your back here. They love
This
the
shit is
doll.
awesome. See,
That
thank
thing
you.
literally is going to give me nightmares.
All right. Sugar Sean O'Malley minus 280 versus Cheeto Vera. They fought before. It's Sugar's only loss. The whole pinch nerve thing. I'm not one of those people that don't give Cheeto credit for that win. I think Cheeto won that fight. A lot of leg kicks, a lot of damage to those legs. Hey, when you get injured in a fight, that's what happens. I give credit for Weidman beating Silva. I give credit for Dustin beating Connor. I give credit for Cheeto beating Sugar 4 or 5 years ago. So that shit's awesome. I love it. So a big fight. I'm leaning one way or the other, but what you got? Now let me hear your take first.
I'm here to use your favorite statistic against you. So Dave has this statistic about fighters over 35. Now, hear me out, because I know neither Cheeto nor Sugar Sean are over 35. But Cheeto's last 4 wins are all 34 years old and up. And I think he lost the Pedro fight.
Oh, so you're saying he's beaten older fighters.
For a 40-year-old Frankie Edgar, a retired and then back again Dominic Cruz, and then I'm brain farting on the last one. But I looked it up, and every single person was 34 or older. I think that says a lot. And Sugar's performance against Petr Yan, I thought Yan won that fight, but Sugar Sean showed that he is more durable than he was when he fought Cheeto Vera. I think that he has the speed advantage here. I think Cheeto is just as dangerous as Sean O'Malley, but I don't think he's as accurate, and I don't think he's as sharp. I think that the fighters where he's like starching them and he's using those big moments to win those rounds that he was losing rounds against Rob Font. He was losing rounds against Dominic Cruz. And then he won those rounds back by having 1 or 2 really big moments where he hurt the guy. Those guys are shorter fighters. They're not able to counter him the same way that Sean O'Malley can. Can Cheeto Vera win this fight? Yes, he can, but I do not think he's going to. I definitely do believe that Sean O'Malley is going to get his revenge here. I wouldn't be shocked at a finish, and I wouldn't be shocked with a Sean O'Malley decision either. I could see this fight being really, really close, especially because you have 2 guys who can both lose several rounds and then still win a fight with a huge moment by clipping a guy, because they're both so powerful and so dangerous. But when both guys are good at that, and one guy is more accurate and has a little bit better trap setting, I have to lean towards the guy who's sharper and a little bit more dangerous with his counter striking. So I have to go O'Malley.
Okay. You broke that down fabulous. And I know I got this amazing 1 of 1 doll right here, Sugar Sean O'Malley. I said it on the show Tuesday, and I'll say it here. When you eat something together with a fighter and you go to Circus Olay and you see 5 of everything that I did with Cheeto Vera, I was lucky enough to do that. Guys, I'm on Cheeto Vera. It's a bond. It's like a man code. We were out there in Vegas. I was doing a press conference for Game Bread Bare Knuckle. Cheeto and Jorge are really good friends. Cheeto did commentary for Game Bread. We're out there. We're going to Circus Olay. And Cheeto's like, hey, Dave, eat some of this chocolate bar. I go, sure. Anything for you, Cheeto. And next thing I know, I see 9 clouds looking at me. So it was a great time. I got Cheeto Vera. I got the man's back. That's all I got to say.
So what we've learned is that Dave is just biased.
It is what it is.
Sean said you're still trying to make up for the Super Bowl.
Who said that? Sean, come on, dude. Come on, Sean. We're over it.
You guys, Dave bet $500 that the 49ers were going to win the Super Bowl.
Stop. Too much. Need some pink hair on it. Hey, maybe we'll get it dyed. The doll doesn't approve. I know, Pat. I'm going with Cheeto. So Dave got drugged and loved it. Hey. It's like you don't kiss and tell. You know what I mean, Sean? You don't kiss and tell, But no, I think it's a great fight. The one thing I would say, one thing you said there, I kind of totally agree on is I don't think Cheeto can give rounds to Sugar early because I think Sugar can move so good. His footwork is so great. He can move backwards so well and lateral. So, like, even if Sean knows he's up 2-0, 3-0, like, I feel like he can just play defense. And then in a weird way, you go to Cheeto's. Like, remember what happened with Cheeto and Corey Sandhagen? It was just like too late. It's like, bro, you're down 4 rounds. And then he had a really good 5th round. And I think Sugar can do that. Your power goes away because you've been chasing. You got hit. I can see Sugar kind of running the way in the 4th or 5th round because he's got a lead and deserves it. But yeah, but
I can see a real close fight.
Good fight, great fight, and a great way to cap off the card. All right, a lot of dogs. I think we're both on Gilbert. We're both on Poirier. I think we're both on Pedro. I like the under on that Caitlin and Macy stuff. No, I agree, Sean. Merab beats everyone. But Merab Islam, I got Merab. Merab John Jones, I got Merab. Merab versus Glover Teixeira, I got Merab. All right, guys, Merab is on that level to me now. He beats everyone. All right,
he's becoming like a crowd favorite too, and I love that for him.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
I wish he would have done that earlier. Like, he's so funny.
Because I feel like 2 years ago, people almost didn't like him, because him and Sterling were close. He didn't really speak good English. He wasn't funny. And now he's like, I don't know anyone that doesn't love Merab.
If he doesn't steal Sean O'Malley's jacket after this fight, I will be so disappointed.
Yeah.
Sean is asking about Game Bread. It was so good.
It was the best.
There was one decision the whole night.
Yeah.
It was an incredible event. Dean, Jorge, Victoria absolutely crushed it. Dave killed it on the pre-show and the broadcast. Thank you. As always, Maddie did as well. It was so good.
Also for me too, the Kia Center in Orlando. I live 45 minutes from there. It's my home arena. Like I said, I've seen WWE there, seen basketball playoff games there. My girls go see Princess on Ice on Disney there. It just means so much to me. So for me to be on that spot, be on the Jumbotron, guys, Junior Dos Santos, a living legend, won the championship. They put the title around his waist and they said, all right, Dave, go for it. And it's just me and Junior there for 3 minutes. It's like something I will never forget. It was really cool, man. It was awesome. I loved it.
No, it was such a good event.
For the coat and the title. Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, we did it. Me and Elle even said,
real quick, we got to throw up. I got to answer Jack here. He said, I want to know what her opinion is on Edwards versus Bilal.
It was awesome shot. Oh, yeah. Okay, Jack, put it up.
Gotcha. Dude, I have Edwards. I think Edwards gets it done. Absolutely. He's so athletic. He's so long. I think that he's a really hard guy to outwork on the feet. And I don't see Bilal can wrestle, but man, Colby was struggling. And I know that wasn't the best Colby we've ever seen by any means, but Colby was struggling in a lot of the wrestling exchanges with Leon because he's so athletic. I remember watching Leon fight RDA and he literally just athleted out of full double legs. Like RDA had a locked double and could not take him down. I can't see Bilal being able to out wrestle Leon and control him. If he gets him down, I could see that. I can't see him keeping him there for extended periods of time and chewing up a lot of clock.
I concur. But that's probably 302. I would guesstimate UFC 302.
We got a while.
I know. It's crazy. Guys, everyone that's commented or watching, this has been one of our best Ben and Bananas. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Elle and I both said off air, we're like, yeah, let's keep it short. I'm losing my voice.
It's been an hour.
We went for 50 minutes. That's how good the card is. We didn't have a third guest. Imagine that. We would have went on for an hour and a half. All you guys. Hey, Jack. Not thank you. Thank you, dude. We appreciate you, man. Guys, if you can, jump on YouTube. If you're not already, sub the brand new YouTube channel. Just look up Fight Bananas. We had 2.5 thousand, 2.4 thousand. But we had to restart it, so we're at 100. Let's get back to 500 quickly, all right? Nothing but love. Hey, no, Joshua, nothing but love to you, my man. Appreciate you guys. Love both of you. It's great watching when you're live. Hey, Sean, appreciate you, man. Oh, dude, I'm like blushing over here. Too much love from you.
This has been one of our most fun lives ever. Thank you guys for joining. Come back every week.
Every week, Wednesday night. And Saturday, hopefully, maybe Ellen and I can go live before UFC 299, or maybe even during the event. I would love to do more stuff. Grant Dawson's going to do a giveaway. This is a free Grant Dawson shirt. This is the way. All you have to do is main event winner, co-main event winner, and then he'll pick Burns or Jack Della Maddalena or Kevin Holland, whatever. 3 fights, pick the winners. Boom, free shirt. We'll send it right to you. It's what we do. We buy it for you guys. What size, whatever you want, we'll do it. So Grant Dawson's shirt. But El, anything else?
Other than your creepy doll.
I'm dying over here.
Dave's gonna go cuddle his Cabbage Patch doll and go to bed.
Yeah, I'm dying. No more voice, guys. I'm done for the week. All right, guys. El, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you.